Hi, this is Mr. Sand's kitchen. You can see that I've got an aluminum can here. I've got a water basin with some water in it, and I've got this measuring cup right here. You can use any measuring cup you like. You just need to measure some volume. I've also got an oven, should be somewhat clean, and on the top you've got the stove top. I'm going to use that to heat. I've also got a water source here that I'm going to use to fill up the water inside this Coke can. So I've got this Coke can right here. You probably should buy 6 at least of these for your various trials. You might want to do more than that. But here's how I'm going to do it. This is the initial investigation right here. So this is about 10 milliliters. I'm going to fill this up with about 10 milliliters of water. So I'm going to show you what that is about. That's about it. Maybe it's a little bit less than 10 milliliters, but that's okay. I'm going to go over here to my stove. Just put it on the small burner. I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to crank it up. And now this is the boring part. You just get to watch it heat up. Okay, while that's heating up though, let me set it over here. See if I can prop this up a little bit. While it's heating up, let's see if I can prop this just slightly, sort of. Okay, you can kind of see that. I'm gonna need a better prop. There. That works. Okay, so as this is heating up, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to get my insulator ready. So here's what I'm going to use to pick up the can. I'm going to use it like this. I'm just going to grab it and I'm just going to transfer it. I'm going to invert it and put it down over here, and you're going to see what happens after that. So in Coke cans they have, let's see what the initial volume is. Let's see what the initial volume is in Coke. It says 12 fluid ounces, which is 355 milliliters. We're going to crush this can, and you're going to tell me first why that happens, and then we're going to see how much volume is left in the can. So this is the boring part here, just heating it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over here. This is not hot. Just so you can see it a little bit easier. Make sure you can see it. Oh, it's perfect. Take a few minutes here. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for the steam to rise off of this. I want it to be pretty consistent, like coming out from that hole right there. Coming out like, I don't know, for maybe like 30 seconds or so before I take it off. Just waiting, waiting, waiting. If you're doing this experiment at home, maybe you want to set up a couple of cans going at the same time, so you can do several trials right after each other. It doesn't take so long. Aha! If you have an oven mitt, that's even better, because then you can grasp the can a little bit easier. I'm going to use both this and this to invert it in the water there. You can see some steam coming off. If you look at contrast right here, you can see some steam coming off of this. That means there's water vapor coming out here. That water vapor is displacing all the air that's inside of this can. So you want to make sure there's no air inside this can. Just going to be water vapor and water. That's why I'm waiting for a while here. Or at least just as little as air as possible. Won't do get rid of all of the air. Okay, it's pretty consistent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off this heat. I'm going to take this off just very quickly. I don't want to burn anything here. Oh! I can smell a little something burnt. Oh, I burnt this. Try not to burn anyone's insulating device. Check this out. Oh yeah, that was a good crush. Look at that. It's crazy. Alright, now I'm going to empty this as much as I can. Fill it back up with water. Over here. I'm going to measure how much water is in this can. Hopefully it hasn't broken. Sometimes it leaks. If it leaks, just do your best. I think it's going to get a little leak here. So just fill it up as high as you can. Try to be consistent with this. Whatever way you do it, just do it over and over and over again so you get the same amount of air in between your trials. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this now into here and get a good approximation of how much this can has crushed. So if you look closely at this, I'm going to set it down. You might not be able to read this right here, but to my eye, it's in between. Ooh. Since you don't have a graduated cylinder at home, you won't be able to tell exactly what this is. But you get a rough estimate. It's in between 100 and 150 milliliters. And it's definitely a little bit higher than halfway between those two. So I'm going to say, well, I'm going to say like 180 plus or minus 10 milliliters. I wouldn't say that, actually. 170 plus or minus 10 milliliters. I think that's a safe bet for what I'm reading out right here. 170 plus or minus 10 milliliters. So that's the initial investigation. You're gonna see some variable that you want to tweak here. It can be a lot of different things. You just make sure that whatever you do before you do your test, make sure you write down a journal with the procedure and you send it to me before you do it, because that way I can okay it, I can give you advice, and I can also make sure it's safe before you do it. So don't do anything until you email me a journal showing your procedure. Okay. Good luck with deciding on your variable. I hope it works, and I hope you have an idea. Maybe there's an idea that you have right now how this works. That will inform whatever variable you decide to choose. Okay. Bye for now.